All-you-can-eat buffets are a gold mine for crazy stories and one-star reviews, and today we're going to explore the Golden Corral Grill. Have you ever been to one? Because I haven't, but I've been to many different kinds of buffets before. And well, Golden Corral's old slogan used to be,
Golden Corral, everyone deserves a good meal.
So today, let me, Jeff, take you on a tour all across America to different Golden Corrals and read some crazy and funny one-star reviews. So if you like this idea, leave a like and let's just jump into it. Our first stop takes us to Manassas, Virginia. This is a very normal looking Golden Corral surrounded by some very green trees. It has a 3.9 rating on 4,541 reviews. Manassas has a population of 42,772 people. A quick fun fact based on that population is that 42.9% of those people identify as Hispanic or Latino. That's not something you think about when you think about Virginia, at least not for me. So with all of that in mind, let's go read some Golden Corral reviews. Grab your plate because we're going to get our buffet of one-star reviews started with Z. Wonder how that tastes. We have been going to this place for the last 4 or 5 years. Everything was fine. Except today. The place smells like bathrooms. The salad bar was empty. And the lady at the grill station was not pleasant. The meat, steaks, was raw, and we stayed in line around 10 minutes to get a small piece of meat. When you asked her for a medium steak, she served a rare, and vice versa. When we asked the manager, he had a strange behavior and unfriendly attitude. He said, "It's a lie, and we are busy with a party of 9. My husband and I were shocked. If I walked into a restaurant or a buffet and it smelled like bathrooms, I probably would walk right back out because I wouldn't have an appetite to eat. Let's see what happened to Gerard. I experienced a significant issue during my visit to the Golden Corral in Manassas. I unfortunately found a bug in my water, which was quite unsettling. While Rosa was prompt in providing a refund, I encountered further difficulty when she refused to continue serving me during my meal. Ultimately, I was asked to leave the establishment.
And I said, "Get away from here. Get. And he went right back out that path again."
This experience highlighted serious concerns regarding customer service, cleanliness, and overall respect. I would advise potential customers to consider these factors before dining at this location. Something happened between the bug in the water and the refund where Gerard got kicked out, and I really want to know why. What do you guys think it was? Let's read Andrea's review. I felt offended when the cashier threw me the $1. I asked her if she was okay or if something was happening to her, and she said no. Then, I asked her why she threw the money at me, and she didn't know how to give me an answer. Then she reacted and apologized to me, but I told her that it was not the way to treat a customer. With the situation that this country is experiencing, I felt a total contempt. The only way you could really offend somebody by throwing $1 at them is if you balled it into a ball and chucked it at their face. I have a feeling that the cashier didn't do that and that this is just a big misunderstanding. Anyways, let's move on to Michael's review. It's been years, probably 20, since I've been in a Golden Corral, mainly because they are not in the area. But this location, not much to be desired. Dried out food, popcorn shrimp was cold, meatloaf was half raw. Not the best selection, 5:30 p.m. Maybe it was an off night, but this was definitely bad. On a positive, the soda was cold. Desserts weren't bad, minus the kids touching half the cookies. If Michael waits another 20 years to try Golden Corral, they might not be around anymore, and well, he might not be either.
Boom. Roasted.
Moving on to the next review for this Virginia Golden Corral, it comes from CSC. Let's be honest. Nobody expects much from Golden Corral, but when I pay $90+ for a family of 4, I expect a server to do their job. Ours showed up quickly once we got to the table, then disappeared. We had to ask another server to check on our drink order after we had gotten our food and had been sitting for about 10 minutes. Our server was prompted and brought the drinks. Then he disappeared. Too busy chasing a female colleague around the restaurant. We left without refills, or having our dishes cleared, or seeing our server at our table again for the remaining 45 minutes we were there. No manager to be seen/found. We could have gotten a full service meal with much better food for the same price at much better restaurants nearby. We will never go back. All you have to do as a server at a buffet like this is clear dishes and refill drinks. I wonder if he chased that female server into some secret back. I'll stop there. And we'll move on to the next Golden Corral. But before we get to that next Golden Corral, please take a second to make sure you are subscribed because I'm trying to hit 1K subscribers and you could be one of the early ones, and over 80% of my viewers are not subscribed. Alright, back to the reviews. For our next stop, we're going to head up to Westland, Michigan, which is approximately 18 miles outside of Detroit. This Golden Corral looks a little bit older than the last one we went to, and it holds a 3.8 rating on 6,280 reviews. Westland has a population of 8,420 people. Before becoming Westland, this area is known by many different names, some including Inkster, Wayne, Dearborn Heights, Redford, and then for a while it was the Nankin Township after the Chinese city of Nanking. Finally, on May 16th of 1966, the township of Nankin became the city of Westland. So with all of that in mind, let's go read some Golden Corral reviews. We'll get Michigan started with Nikki. First time we go out to eat and we decided to come to Golden Corral.
Wow, this place is horrible.
Kids should not be allowed to get their own plates under 16 years of age. Parents do not give a crap about their kids making messes or pushing others out of the way or touching everything. There was no order. As we just came out of a pandemic, all the food was destroyed by kids, barely anything left, or looked like it sat out too long as it was thrown all over the floor.
People have no respect anymore, nor how to raise their children.
Thank you to the waiter who felt our pain. People should get thrown out for not controlling their children. We will never eat here again. I can agree with Nikki about kids not getting their own food, but 16 seems a little old to me. Maybe like 12 or 11 or 13, I don't know. I wasn't a kid that would be throwing food or touching with my hands. I was one that was grossed out by other kids doing that. What sort of mark did this Golden Corral leave on Marcus? This is hands down one of the most filthiest restaurants I've ever been to. The food was as if it had been sitting out for hours. The meatloaf was crusty and had remnants of poo. Got a red velvet cupcake that was stiffer than cardboard. Huge potholes in parking structure. Asked for a glass of water from the waiter, and it had something floating inside it. The silverware was dusty and dirty. All around an unclean place, you can feel the dirt in the atmosphere. I'm usually lenient on my grades of businesses, but this was horrific. I give this place a solid F. The glory has left this restaurant, and it is not how it used to be in the 90s and the early 2000s. Based on Marcus's review, you could say that Golden Corral has pretty crappy meatloaf and not be wrong. Haha. Let's see what Shannon had to say.
Just gross.
No seating. Asked to sit in an open area to be told no. Could not sit there. I explained to the lady there was no open table. She still said no. So we had to walk around for 10 minutes looking for a clean table. On to the food.
Just gross.
Props on the salad bar. Only thing that was appealing. Food looked like it had been sitting there all day. Burnt foods. Nothing looked appealing enough to eat. And on to the steaks. Tried to explain to the server I wanted med rare. Anything after that, I won't eat. Kept telling me 5 more minutes.
No, you are overcooking my food.
Just another disappointment and reminder why I haven't eaten here in 10 years. I'm not too sure what happened with the whole seating mishap at the beginning of this review because it's very confusing, but the food checks out so far based on the other reviews, and I love all the stories mixed in between. Let's keep reading. And that next review comes from Rissa. I wish I could give this a 0. This place is disgusting beyond. I don't understand how the health department has not shut it down. They must be just waiting on someone to die. The food looked like it had been out for days. I really thought how I could go wrong with the chicken. It was not cooked all the way. It was red as hell. Absolutely nothing fresh, and the door to the kitchen was open and it made me want to vomit. This place is gross. I really want to dispute my charges. I was in there 10 minutes before walking out. Maybe instead of the health department waiting, they should just have John Taffer come in and start screaming to shut it down.
Close this kitchen down now! You don't have the right to sell food! Damn you! How dare you get people sick!
Let's see how Donald's dining experience went. Some of the plates were dirty. Had to search to get a clean one. The food tasted good, but It was loaded with salt. Most buffets have salty food, but this was over the top. Could not help but to think about all the salt I was tasting when I was eating. Good thing I have a case of water in my van because I drank 6 of them that night. I have been to Golden Corrals in the past but not experienced this. I will never visit another Golden Corral again.
This ruined it.
The food tasted good, but it was loaded with salt, and all he could think about was the salt. So did the food actually taste good? I don't know. But I do know the next review comes from Gregory. I have been to this place several, but on Saturday, February 1st, I could not believe that crap I went through from a worker. Although the manager and I had a great conversation, I'll never forget what happened at this place. He'll never forget what happened at this place, but he won't go into detail in his review. Why, Gregory? Why? We're gonna head west over Lake Michigan and over Wisconsin and head to Maple Grove, Minnesota, the next Golden Corral. This Golden Corral has the corner spot of this power center type area, and it holds a 3.5 rating on 3,748 reviews. Maple Grove has a population of 70,253 people, making it the 11th most populous city in the whole state of Minnesota. But a more fun fact about Maple Grove is former professional wrestler, actor, and former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body Ventura, was born there. That is pretty cool.
So with all of that in mind, let's go read some Golden Corral reviews.
The first review for Maple Grove is fresh and hot and new, unlike the food at Golden Corral.
Boom. Roasted.
And it comes from Sheila. Complete filth.
Disgusting and dirty.
I can't even understand how this place has not been shut down. Food looks like it was sitting on the buffet since 2 days ago. I was afraid to literally touch anything in the bathroom. Walked in, turned around, and walked right back out. First 3 plates I took off the clean stack had food on them.
GROSS.
The employees were very friendly though. I'm a little surprised that Sheila ended up eating here after that bathroom experience. If the bathroom was that disgusting, I'd have no faith in the food. But let's keep reading. The next review comes from a unicorn.
This Golden Corral location is horrible. The food is nasty.
The employees are sloppy and careless. The food selection is terrible. And the food quality is terrible as well. It was 5 of us and the bill was $75.45. The money is not an issue, but it is not worth the price. The soda fountain is disgusting. The drinking cups are disgusting as well. The restaurant in general is dirty. I do not recommend this Golden Corral location, and we will never return. This review left by a unicorn was left over a year ago, where Sheila's review is really fresh. Seems like this place hasn't changed much at all in a year. Also included is a picture of how dirty those candy vending machines are.
Disgusting.
Dorothy isn't in Kansas anymore. She's in Minnesota, and we're gonna read her review. Most foods were lukewarm. Carrots in the pot roast were cold to the touch. Baked fish was mushy. Ham was dried out and lukewarm. Men's room was so filthy my husband wouldn't even go in to blow his nose. Dessert area was a mess, and products were missing or looked like they had been thrown on a plate. The manager was not welcoming at all. He never greeted anyone or walked around to check on the restaurant. As seniors, it was a waste of $32. It was 6:30, and they were not busy at all. I can now see why so many have closed. Very disappointed. Lukewarm food on a buffet line is a recipe for the bubble guts. No wonder these bathrooms are so disgusting. People are going in there and just blowing out their bowels. Alright, enough bathroom talk. Let's read what happened to Mike.
Do not eat at this location.
When we pulled into the parking lot, the place looked like it was closed with 0 lights on the sign. I could see people inside, so we went in. There were more workers than diners inside, and that's not a good sign at a buffet. The food looked and tasted like it had been there for 2 hours. The plates have stains that will never come off with some added dried on food for texture. If I went up to a buffet line and like the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 plates had gunk on them, I would just be like, you know what, this isn't worth it. I'd have no appetite to eat. I don't know what I would do. Let's see how valid Walid's review is. I made a mistake in bringing my family to this filthy place. The food was the worst food I ever had in my life. Bad and cheap quality. Most of the food was cold. I asked for a medium done steak 3 times, and every time they get me well done. Food quality was so bad, and the dessert was bad as well. 60% of the food has no tags, and 20% has incorrect tag information. So if you have any food allergy or restrictions, do not go to this place. All cups are dirty, and the floor is dirty. Bad, 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 bad. Stay away. Even the animals won't eat there. I am now writing my review from the restaurant and told the servant, who does not speak English, my disappointment. The part that confuses me are the animals won't eat there. What animals are allowed to eat at Golden Corral? Are like the deer allowed to go in there and hit up the salad bar? Because if so, that's pretty neat. The next review comes from Angie. I couldn't believe what a dump this place was. Was here last Saturday night, 6:15, dinner time. Stack of plates were filthy. I had to go through 8 plates to find a clean one. Told the juror, and he brought out new plates on a cart and literally said, "Here you go," and shoved the cart towards us. A man grabbed it just before it slammed into me. Food chafing and condiments were empty as well as all the fixing and spoons for the ice cream. The ketchup had sour cream in it. It was so disgusting that I almost asked for our money back, but my passengers also already sat down. The manager did nothing to help but sit on his butt talking to some customers at a table for the whole hour we were there. I actually have a photo. The staff that were bussing were working very hard to clean up and were very pleasant. There was food all over the floors and on the stations. The bathroom was also bad. Don't know how they can operate. Will never recommend or go there again. Would like to give it a 0. Quick disclaimer, I am not going to show the photo of the manager sitting at the table because I don't want to. My favorite part about this whole long-winded review is how Angie refers to whoever she's with as passengers. I'm a little confused by that. Are they not your friends or family or anything? They're just passengers with you? Did you accidentally go into a car with them? What's going on here?
Ándale, ándale. ¿Quiere comprar chicle, señora? Oh, thank you. I feel pretty. Now, everyone on the bus now, please.
Pero yo no me quiero montar en el camión. Yo vivo aquí en México, señora.
I know we all love Mexico, but it's time to go home.
We'll think about that while we head to the next Golden Corral. For our next stop, we're going to go to Vancouver, Washington. This is another Golden Corral that doesn't look too bad from the outside, and the tree colors actually match the paint colors, and it has a 4.0 rating on 7,758 reviews. Vancouver has a population of 190,915 people. A quick fun fact is that NASCAR driver Greg the Biff Biffle is from Vancouver. He had 19 wins over his NASCAR career. So let's go read some Golden Corral reviews. Let's get Vancouver, Washington going with Riley. We come here whenever we visit Vancouver, but that's gonna stop. Their website says lunch prices are from 11 to 4. We came in at 11:17 and they tried to charge us dinner prices, claiming
Dinner starts at 11 on Saturdays. Dinner starts at 11 on Saturdays? In what universe?
I've never seen a more egregious bait and switch in my life. We'll be taking our business elsewhere. We're off to a bit of a different start in Vancouver here. Instead of complaining about the cleanliness or how bad the food is, we're complaining about a bait switch tactic with when dinner starts on the weekends. Does that trend continue with James? Probably not. Food was dry. The fried chicken was the consistency of jerky. The pudding tasted metallic. And the pecan pie was like biting into a sugar cube. A lot of the best sides, popcorn, shrimp, okra, etc. was cold. Will not go back or recommend to anyone. At least you know the chicken isn't raw when it's overdone like that, but the pudding having a metallic taste to it, that's not good. We had a review earlier from a unicorn and now one from a buck. What would happen if they, let's just read the review. Food was very salty all around. Steak very dry. 1 star was for turkey and salad bar. Service was incredible. Atmosphere is rated on cleanliness. Every single bulb under the food was dirty. Took a picture of one. First time here.
Not coming back.
I included a picture of that dirty bulb, and it is very disgusting. Think of that stuff falling off into the food, and gross. But hey, at least the service is incredible. This next review from Ashley was only 4 days old when I found it. Let's read it. The food was absolutely horrible. The fried chicken was not cooked. It was bleeding and cold in the middle. Slimy. Most of the food was cold, definitely violating food safety guidelines. Our waitress was very kind and doing her best. I would give the food 0 stars. I will never return. The atmosphere, the bathrooms were horrific and stunk bad. The place was just dirty. Don't waste your money. This is the first time I have left a buffet hungry. Whoa, would you look at that? Someone finally left the buffet hungry. They decided it was too gross to fill their stomach. Someone who would be like me. That's a first so far. I'm happy to see that. Let's keep going. Woohoo! Time for Todd's review. I ate at this restaurant when it first opened and everything was great. Went back last Thursday, March 6, 2025, and was extremely disappointed. My wife and I always check the cleanliness of plates and silverware before using them. We could not believe our eyes. We discarded 8 plates before we found a clean one. The spoon rack was just as bad. Almost all of them were not cleaned very good. As our 3-year-old granddaughter was eating, I noticed an eyelash was embedded in the chicken she was eating. My wife immediately took it to the on-shift manager to complain about it. But she showed very little concern about making things right with us. We left and didn't finish our meal. We will not return to this Golden Corral ever again, or recommend it to anyone. They need some serious improvement on cleanliness. I can totally understand leaving without finishing your meal if it took 8 plates to find a clean one and you found an eyelash embedded in food. That's just disgusting. Let's read what happened to T. Alright, let's get real about Golden Corral. The food there is about as exciting as watching paint dry.
Boom. Roasted.
Everything tastes like it's been sitting under a heat lamp for hours, and the salad bar is a sad excuse for fresh produce. The ambiance feels like you're dining in a cafeteria from the 80s, complete with uncomfortable chairs and tacky decor. If you're looking for quality dining, steer clear of Golden Corral, unless you're desperate for a cheap buffet fix. Goober. That was the most real review so far about Golden Corral, and it painted a pretty good picture of what it's like to dine there. Thank you, T. And let's head to the next Golden Corral. Let's head down south to Florida to Port Richey. A very Florida-looking Golden Corral with 2 Florida men walking up the steps into it holds a 3.8 rating on 3,173 reviews. Port Richey is quite a bit on the smaller side with a population of 3,052 people. Your fun fact is that singer Johnny Cash owned a home here from 1979 until 2002, which he sold it 1 year before his death. So with all of that in mind, let's go read some Golden Corral reviews. We'll get Florida started with Florida man Steven. It was an absolute disaster. The food was completely decimated. It was not cooked properly. Everybody was scrambling to get what little bit there was. There was no meatloaf and no pot roast. They shut down the grill for a little bit and people couldn't get any steaks. It's just like, what do we pay for here? The stuffing just tasted like wet bread. It was the worst I've ever had. Just disappointing. It's all I can say. That sounds like absolute chaos. People running around scrambling. You probably have to dig through 7-8 plates to find a clean one just to get a little bit of terrible food. I love it. The next review is from Mike and Pat, but it's one person. Or is it? I don't know. But let's read the review. We haven't been to Golden Corral for several years. It has always been so good, and we were looking forward to the fried chicken, which has been amazing in the past. We were expecting something much different. The quality of food was terrible. The chicken was dry and hard, as well as the fried catfish. Most of the other food was flavorless, specifically the desserts.
Sir?
What?
Are we being too literal?
No, you fool. We're following orders. We were told to comb the desert, so we're combing it.
Found anything yet? Nothing yet, sir!
Truly a disappointment, and the prices are totally outrageous. We will not be going there again. No wonder the food was so dry and hard and overcooked. They're in a desert. Oh, makes sense now. We move back to the solo reviewer with Melissa. This location is always busy. We arrived around 4 and it was very hard to find seating. The meal was overpriced, close to $20 a person. Golden Corral has plenty of options, but the quality of food was pretty bad. Everything was very bland and heavily processed. The food was obviously not from a scratch kitchen. It did not feel like a healthy option for us. I don't think anybody has ever thought, let's go to Golden Corral for a healthy meal, unless you're just going for the salad bar, but then just go buy lettuce and make your own salad. It'd be a lot cheaper. I'm a little confused by Melissa's review, but I'm happy she left it. Let's just jump into Janice's review. This place has roaches. I asked for a cup of water and there was a roach floating right on top. The manager was notified and he claimed he would refund all of my money, but he only returned $19 from a bill that was $106. Needless to say, my family will not be back. Eat at your own risk. If you found a roach in a cup like that, then I'm guessing the roaches are in all of the food too, and that's just disgusting. Let's read what bugged Jaden about his Golden Corral trip. We've been to Golden Corral before and had this problem where we had raw food. My mom had raw sausage links and we brought it up to a girl manager and she said she'd take care of us and took our plates and never came back. But that was last time. My dad got a chicken sandwich, not even half, and 3 chicken wings. He made a comment
saying, "I don't know if this is fish or chicken,"
then ran to the bathroom to vomit. The first of the 5 to 6 time on the way home, he was vomiting all over the parking lot.
People are puking all over the damn place. And they're sitting in the office playing games.
The service was good. We got a refund, but we will not be coming back. I really do feel bad for Jaden's dad. Has some bad chicken or fish and then vomits all over the place and then their child posts about it on the internet. Heck yeah. At least they got their money back. The next review comes from Miss Nadine, which sounds like a name a substitute teacher would give themselves if they had like a crazy last name. The only reason I go here is because my mom likes to go. I hate it. Very dirty. They don't wipe crap down like they should. The prices are high. I myself can only eat 1 plate of food and a half a plate of dessert. It's the same old food day after day. The restrooms are disgusting. Well, that's very sweet for Miss Nadine to deal with all of this terrible stuff because their mom likes to go here. And it's also very sweet that we're going to another Golden Corral. Let's go! Next, we're gonna head to a top 10 city in America by population, in Dallas, Texas. A bit of a sadder looking Golden Corral, and they were hiring for all positions at the time of the Google Street View vehicle going through. And it holds a 3.6 rating on 4,146 reviews. Dallas has a population of 1,304,379 people. Your fun fact about Dallas, Texas is that actor Owen Wilson was born here. Wow. What a fact. Now let's go read some Golden Corral reviews. Let's see how this Texas Golden Corral treated Trin. I visited Golden Corral for a birthday meal, but the experience was disappointing. I came in with a birthday coupon, only to be told their machine was broken and couldn't scan it. Then the manager said I needed the coupon printed, so I had to go to Staples down the road just to use it. The food quality wasn't good, definitely not up to the standard of other Golden Corral locations I've been to. The service was lacking, with our waitress not even refilling our drinks. The restaurant itself was dirty, with gross carpeted floors, and I didn't feel comfortable putting my son in the high chair because it wasn't clean. On top of everything, the ice cream machine wasn't working, and this was during dinner time. Overall, this visit was a huge letdown, and I wouldn't recommend this location. I do have to give props to Trin for the effort that they went through to print off that coupon just to use it at Golden Corral. I would maybe use that at like my favorite pizza place, but at Golden Corral? No thank you. Let's read Roald's review. Placed a to-go order for Thanksgiving well in advance. I showed up after 4 p.m. as instructed in the email. I showed up and my order was not ready. The staff did not want to admit they forgot about my order. The staff never even apologized for me having to wait almost 30 minutes to pick up my order. The clerk asked for my confirmation number and was able to pull up my order.
I'll never use this location again.
I understand the idea about picking up your Thanksgiving from Golden Corral because they have like mashed potatoes, stuffing, and turkey and all that stuff, but I would much rather trust picking up like a big chicken meal and mashed potatoes and corn and like mac and cheese from like a KFC over trusting Golden Corral. The next review comes from Barbara and they have multiple pictures. The food was old and dried out. They never put anything fresh out the whole 2 hours we sat there waiting. The variety of selection for a buffet was very poor. A waste of almost $100 for me and my grandkids to eat. How disappointing. I will never be back to this location, ever. And it'll be a long time before I go to any Golden Corral. This is the reason these restaurants are closing down. If you're going to increase the price of your food, be sure and increase the quality. I've enlarged the pictures of the food, and you guys can decipher what the food is. I know one's chocolate cake, the rest of it, I don't really know. I also want to know why they were waiting for 2 hours and where were they waiting? Were they out eating for 2 hours, waiting for more new food, waiting for a table for 2 hours? I have no idea, and that's the biggest question of this whole video so far. But what isn't a question is that the next review is from Richey. Apparently, Golden Corral likes to serve bugs with your food, and when we told the manager no apology, no fixing it, they just said, okay. So I'm guessing they don't care what is going on with this Golden Corral, so I'm not taking my family to this Golden Corral ever again. Another Golden Corral, another review with bugs in it. These places are just disgusting. I don't think after reading these reviews I could ever go to a buffet again, but you know what? I probably will. But for now, I'll just keep reading reviews like this one from Caesar. Great service. All the staff, my hat goes off to you. However, the food was bad. Mostly chicken was the protein. It was okay, not great. I got some banana bread pudding. It had mold. And the pie tasted a few days old. This is me being polite. I was very disappointed. I'm glad the service was great and his hat goes off to all the staff, but if the staff was so great then the banana pudding wouldn't have mold in it, so I don't know. My brain can't compute this. Oh no, malfunction. Alright, I'm better now. Let's read Amy's review. The food here was cold and did not taste good. Server was attentive, but that did not make up for how nasty the food tasted. Highly do not recommend going here. Way too expensive for the quality of the food. After reading that, I don't know, did Amy like the food? And with that, you've made it to the end of the video. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. Check out this video on screen because YouTube thinks you'll like it. And until next time, you're amazing and I like you, and don't eat too much Golden Corral. Goodbye.